Hey guys, we are back with another video. Thank you for joining into Truth TV podcast. My name is Crystal Dynetra. I am in recovery from narcissistic abuse and domestic abuse. I created this channel as like a healing journey and a therapy journey for myself. I invite you guys to take this ride with me. Thank you to all the supporters and subscribers who have subscribed to the channel. I haven't been on here for a couple different reasons. I talked about it in my last video. I had a major sinus infection and my children were sick. And then life was just life. And I'm going to just be honest with y'all. Like I tell you guys all the time on this channel, it is not easy to get on here and be as vulnerable as I have been. But I felt like it was necessary just because, going to therapy and talking to certain friends, certain people will get burnt out because everybody has their own stuff going on. And I definitely get it. But I felt that it was important to start this channel to help myself heal and to help others out there that have been through the same things that I've been through. I gave you guys a couple snippets in my first couple videos. You guys are more than welcome to go back and check them out. Hit the like button on the videos and also hit the like button on this video as well. And if you want to become a subscriber, I invite you to. But I always talked about my DV stories and the things that I've been through and, the things that I had to overcome. This healing journey has not been easy. It has been one of the hardest things that I've had to do, but like I said, that I felt it was very necessary to do. So I, just kept listening to God, and he kept telling me that this is your time to speak out. Stop being silent about the things that have happened to you. You're never going to get healed being silent. And I just got tired of being silence from my abusers, silence from the narcissistic people in my life, the toxic people in my life. I just wanted to use my voice to help myself and help others. So I hope that you guys understand why I made this channel. Like I said, I invite you guys to take this journey with me. Being an empath, I am always drawn to people who are just like me, people who have the same story. For example, I do ride sharing, so Lyft and Uber, as like a little side hustle or my main hustle. And I encounter a lot of people who have been through domestic violence and narcissistic abuse. And I feel like God has purposely placed me in the car at the right time. I have been picking people up where they have been running to the car trying to get away from an abuser, or the abuser, called them on the phone and started an argument. And I had to kind of just talk to them and kind of talk them off the ledge. So I definitely feel that this thing that I'm doing is purposeful. Some days I do get discouraged, because I know anything that happens is going to take some time to build up. And, in order for people to really have a connection with you, they have to feel some sense of clarity. They have to feel a sense that they can, what's the word I'm looking for? Relate to you. So I hope that you guys are relating to me and the things that I have been sharing with you guys. I am in the process of coming out with a book that I talked about in the last video. The book is called Battered But Not Broken. Battered But Not Broken, Secrets of Abuse Unveiled. And I am very proud of this project. It took me about 4 years to bring this project to fruition. I told you guys in the last video that I have my friend that I interviewed on the platform. Her name is Shay Cole. She's an awesome writer. She's helping me with this project. And the reason why it took so long is because I was literally in my own way, just listening to the naysayers, listening to people, telling me that they didn't want to hear my story. I know a couple, I don't want to call them friends, but associates in the past. I would call them when things would happen, when I was getting abused, and it's like nobody really cared or nobody really believed me. So I wanted to get my story out there. It's my truth. These are things that really happened to me. And I felt that it was necessary to jot it down on paper because nothing heals you better than, writing things down on paper, kind of journaling and, just keeping tabs on what has happened in your life. I think is very important. So that's why I decided to write the book. And then, like I told you guys before on the platform, my dad passed in 2019. And that really was a detrimental hit for me. Like I'm still baffled about it to this day. I think about him all the time. I try not to get so far deep into my feelings because I do feel like he was taken away. Just all of a sudden he passed in a car accident. I believe he had a heart attack. He had just had a procedure done that day. And I don't really know all the specifics. The specifics are kind of in gray areas. And I just feel like he wasn't around the right people. And I have the regret of me not being there, even though I'm in Michigan and it happened in Atlanta. I just still feel some form of regret, like I should have been there. But that's life. I understand things happen, but I really wanted him to see the project and to read the book that I was working on, you know, just because, as a child, you always want your parents to be proud of you no matter what. So, I kind of was bummed out when he passed because he's not going to get that opportunity, but I know he is smiling down from heaven. One of the things that he always wanted me to do was just get myself together after my divorce. Like going through a divorce, I've mentioned this before on the channel, that it's kind of like a death. You really have to start all over. And it just depends on who you were in the relationship with and how that deters your future and how your future goes forward from there. And because I was, abused by my ex, and because I was, put in some not so good situations, I had to kind of retrain my mind to um, get up the courage and just have courage and build my faith back up in God. I grew up in church, but I kind of strayed away, just like most of us do when we get adults. There was a lot of things that happened to me in church, and I just have a different perspective on church, but I'm not knocking anybody who goes. But I feel like gaining a spiritual relationship with God is important. I feel like you can have church in your house, you can have church in your car, you can have church wherever you are. But for me, I decided to do church at home and read my Bible and do the things that I was supposed to do, to help heal myself and just become a better person. So I just wanted to put all of that out there. Like this video as you are coming in. I appreciate all the support. Like I said, if you guys want to subscribe to the channel, I would greatly appreciate it. I want to start showing more of my personality, but I don't, want to kind of get off topic. I don't want my silliness to take away from the message. So, and I can be a very serious person as well. A lot of people, when they first meet me, they think I'm just a serious person, but I'm really all laughs and giggles. I love to smile. I love to make other people laugh. And, I want to start having a good time here, but it's just, like I said, life has been lifing, and I have literally been overwhelmed with just trying to, like my dad was telling me, get myself together, getting out of my own way, learning how to do things on my own, being a single mom. And being a single mom is not easy. Shout out to all the mothers out there. It is International Women's Day. So to all the strong women out there, I salute you. I lift you up, and, keep doing your thing. So today we're going to talk about seasons change and people change. Learn when to let go. Again, being divorced and being a single mom is not easy. People have been doing it from the beginning of time, but once it really happened to me, it changed my whole perspective on life. I think I had to be one of the strongest people that I know because of the mental trauma and the physical abuse that I had to endure, the financial abuse that I had to endure, and just keeping me and my children up is one of the hardest things that I've had to do. But I just want to take time to pat myself on the back because I think I'm doing a tremendous job. My kids are doing well. We have a home, I have a car, I work, I, provide for my kids, but it's not an easy road. And what I had to understand is I was being in my own way by allowing certain people in my space. Being an empath, you take on everybody's drama. You take on everybody's, issues. You try to be the fixer. You want to be the saver. But in doing that, you're kind of misrepresenting yourself. You're not being the best version of yourself that you can be because you're always worried about someone else. And I still do it to this day, but God has given me discernment. I do it for the people who I feel that really need it and whoever God leads me to help. But it's just so funny how people who call themselves a friend, those same people, they will stab you in the back, talk about you behind your back, be, unsupportive on purpose, and, just try to sabotage the things that you have going on. They're never happy for you. So I had to learn, because I'm just such a narcissistic abuse. What am I trying to say? Those people cling to me. I had to be able to discern who's for me and who's not. When seasons change, like I said, people change too. And you have to take people for face value. When people show you who you are, who they are, because we've all heard that before, you have to really believe them in this season. It's for me, I'm not in the season for second chances. Once I see that you want some bull, I'm just gonna go the other way, because I don't have time to entertain the drama and the mess that you have going on. And, with certain relationships, I've admitted this before. I wasn't always the best friend looking back on certain situations. I used to just kind of dump my issues with me and my ex-husband on certain friends. And, again, people get burnt out from that. And I definitely understand, because everybody has their own stuff going on. But at the same token, I was a good friend because I was always there when they needed me. It was always like a give or take. But the days that I burnt them out, I knew that I would have to just take a step back for a couple of days and say, well, hey, my conversation, because I used to be so passionate. I used to be screaming and yelling in the phone, and, it would seem like the person that I'm screaming and yelling at I have an issue with them, but I used to just be so passionate talking about stuff, or just so upset, that it would probably scare people off. So once I learned how to communicate better and to understand that you can be passionate about things, but it's all about your delivery. It's all about how you deliver things. But like I said, in this season, I'm not in the business of saving anybody, because at this point I have to save myself. For 20 years I was with one person, and I was always trying to make him happy, always trying to do the things that he wanted to do. I have played several roles. I have been a stay-at-home mom. I have been the mom that worked. I have been the mom that worked when he didn't work. I have done a lot. And so, doing some self-reflection, I feel like it's time for me to do the things that I need to do for Crystal, because nobody else is going to do it for me. But one thing I wanted to share, 2 years ago, I was in an abusive relationship. That relationship was very abusive, verbally, physically, emotionally, all of that stuff. He was a total narcissist. And again, I know people use that word very loosely, but he was definitely a narcissist, textbook narcissist. Everything was about him. If I'm on the phone with somebody, he has a problem, he's always accusing me of cheating. And, I couldn't even look at the next person in the next car, because he would assume that I'm trying to talk to that person. I'm like, this is just a dude that's driving down the street, just ridiculous stuff. But we were out of town with someone. Someone invited me out of town for their birthday. So I figured, while I was dating him, I would have him come along. Me and him had a decent time, but I saw, little red flags here and there, but I kind of just ignored it. But, and this story is not even really predicated towards him, but it was the friend that invited me. I didn't see her the whole weekend that I was there. Like literally not one time. I kept calling, well, we're going here, we're going there, because she was with another couple. So it was four of them and then just me and him. So I would keep calling, asking them, inviting them to the dinner or waiting at the table, saying we're at this restaurant at the hotel. This is it. We all stayed at the same hotel, but I never saw her. It was just like she was just avoiding me, and I just didn't understand why. But as soon as I got home, you know what I'm saying, I saw her at her house, like the next day. And I'm like, well, what is up? And I'm really not into asking people what's up. I'm just going to sit back and observe for a while before I say anything. And that's like one of the Leo's biggest issues. Like we'll observe until it gets on our nerves, and then we just blow up and we on fire. But I just felt like she was jealous at that point. Like certain people, they don't want you to be happy. They don't want you to be with anybody else. If your life is not revolving around them, they have an issue. Now, I brought that up to say this same person invited me to lunch a couple Saturdays ago. And we sitting down at the table. I get a phone call from a gentleman, my friend that's locked up. I call him Prison Bay child. That's Prison Bay. But anyway, I was talking to him. And just face, like it was just so up from the flow up. Like she just had a problem with me being on the phone. Now, this is the same person that ignored me, for a whole weekend getaway that we was not even, we states away. Every time I'm in her presence, she's always on her phone, either talking to her phone or playing a game, just making it seem as if she's not wanting to be engaging with me, but you always want me around. This is the same person that I do stuff for. I help your kids out. I do whatever I can when I can. But she just had this stank aura. Like it was the huffing and puffing for me. It was the looking like she didn't want me to be on the phone. But it's like, why is it okay for you to do this stuff? But then when one person called me and I take a phone call, you have an issue. Like I don't understand what that's about. So then when I got off the phone and I was trying to talk to her about him, she just started over talking me and just started singing loudly, just whatever song was on, playing at the time in the restaurant, like just totally ignoring what I'm saying. And I'm like, you displaying real jealousy right now. You displaying jealousy, first of all, from a ninja that's locked up. He not even nowhere where I can touch him, see him, anything like that. And for you to just ignore me and overtalk me proves that you're jealous. So I'm just like, I need to take a step back from this, and I've been knowing her for years, like years on years. Our kids are the same age, our eldest, and that just really turned me off. And I'm like, how can you get jealous? But you're the same person that always does this to me. You always on the phone. You don't never want to engage. I just feel like I'm just around you just to be around so you can use and abuse and get what you want, and then you on to the next, or you on your way home or whatever. So in this season, like I said, it's very important, guys, to recognize who your circle is. If people are showing you signs that they don't want to be bothered, or they displaying jealousy or fake stuff, cut them off immediately, because it's not going to do anything but get worse. Most people like that are toxic. They love to keep up drama. They always in drama. And I'm just not that. Like, I just feel like that's low vibrational, like old girl said, just low vibrational stuff. And I just feel like at this point in my life, I don't want anybody around me that doesn't mean well. If you don't like me, why continuously want to be around me? Why call me and say, hey, let's meet up, let's do this? Like, I'm not kissing nobody's ass. And that's what I feel like in my old circle, people just wanted me to kiss their ass all the time. And I'm like, I'm not doing that. Like before, when I was growing up and stuff, yes, I did used to buy people's love, like buy them things, do certain things for them just to kind of keep them around. But once I got older and realized that if people don't want to be around for the right reasons, let them go. Like, there's no sense of me holding on to, old baggage. If you showing face that you don't want to be my friend or don't want to be around me, then we can't do this. I will keep a business relationship with you or an associate relationship with you quick, because I'm not begging for anybody's time. That's just it, point blank, period. And I don't want your toxicity rubbing off on me, really. So in this season, it's just important to keep your peace. Like, surround yourself around people who genuinely love you. Surround yourself with people who genuinely want to see you doing good. Surround yourself with like-minded people. If they're not doing the same things and talking about the same things that you're on, I wouldn't even waste my time. I really wouldn't. I try to encourage people so much, but then people lack with me on the encouragement side. It's like, for some reason, when people meet me, men and women, they automatically try to compete with me. And that's because I feel like I do have a light, just like I feel like everybody has a light. But some people's light shines a little bit brighter, and some people cannot stand that. Like, I don't know what it is when people meet me. They just want to be in competition. They think I'm this, they think I'm that. And I'm totally the opposite. I'm the most cool, down to earth person to talk to. And actually, Prison Bay told me earlier today, because I talk to him every day. He told me that, you have this light. You're a gorgeous woman. You're very unique. You're different. Some people will look at you and think, you're stuck up, or, you think you all that, but you are the total opposite. You so cool. And he like, your looks don't match up with your action. Your looks don't match up with your personality. And I'm like, well, what do you mean? He was like, well, I would have thought you was stuck up. He was like, when I first met you, that's just what I thought, because of how you look. And I'm like, well, that's just stupid, and me and him is just the cooler friends. You know what I'm saying? So you cannot judge a book by its cover, but once you get to know the book and you understand how the book works, you have to make a decision from there. People are going to change on you. People are going to flip the script. People are going to act out. They're going to act crazy, but you just have to let them act. And one thing that I learned is, just because I had tons of toxic people around, that's not going to change who I am. I'm not going to allow them to take the niceness out of me. I'm just going to use discernment and put my energy into people who deserve it. And I think that's the most important lesson. Stop allowing people to abuse you, whether it's mentally, physically, financially, emotionally. No one deserves to be abused in no kind of way. And like I always say in my videos, there is help available. If anybody out there needs help getting out of a toxic situation, whether it's a relationship, family, whatever, I will come up with an exit strategy to help you get out of that situation. You can always call that crisis hotline number 988. There is help available. And therapy has helped me tremendously. I am not ashamed to say that I go to therapy every week. Like, literally, I do a telehealth every week, whether it's Thursday, Wednesday, Friday, whatever day she has available for that week. I'm on the call with her because I think it's necessary to keep mental health. People have such a big stigma about mental health, especially in the African American community. We just don't like therapy. Your mamas and them used to just tell you to forget about it or just pray about it. Yeah, you can pray about it, but what can I do in the physical realm? If I'm praying about this thing, but I'm still having feelings of anguish or feelings of self-doubt, there's something that I should be able to do, to help those thoughts and feelings. So we have to get out of this stigma of not going to therapy, because therapy can help save your life. It can help save the lives of the people that's around you, because especially your kids are watching. They can always feel what you're going through. They can always see that mommy or daddy is having a bad day, so it's important to set those standards and even teach your kids that nothing is wrong with therapy. Like I said, I'm all for it. But I just wanted to get on here and show, just share my thoughts with you guys. Let me know what you think in the comments down below. Don't forget to like this video. I need to get the likes up so YouTube's algorithm can process my videos and videos like mine. I appreciate you guys for listening, and have a great night. Until next time, peace.